So today we're doing balance. As always, you modify as you need to. So for things like side planks, we're going to be doing a bunch of like one-legged stuff and a bunch of one-arm stuff. So if you need to make it easier, you drop a knee. If it's bothering your wrist, if you're in a plank, you come down to your forearms. Chaturangas, it's the same. You come down to your knees, you skip them, you do whatever you need to do. Okay. We are going to start either in a child's pose or a downward facing dog. I will let you make that decision. So either taking your knees wide and your toes together, sending your hips back to your heels for your child's pose, or sending your hips up towards the sky for your downward facing dog. Wherever you are, as always, you'll take a nice deep breath in through the nose and then a big open mouth exhale. One more like this. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. When you're ready, and if you're practicing with it, you'll come into your Ujjayi Pranayama, breathing in and out through the nose with that gentle constriction to the back of the throat. We're going to take a couple more breaths here. Maybe you can reach a little longer in your child's pose, stretching your fingertips forward, reaching your hips a little bit back towards your heels. If you want to set an intention for your practice, go ahead and do that now. And 2 more breaths here. From your child's pose, you're going to lift your head. You're going to start to ripple through the spine, coming up into your tabletop. So kind of like a cat pose with your spine rounded. And then as you inhale, you'll drop into your cow belly and send your hips back towards your heels. You're kind of doing a fluid movement. So as you exhale, you'll round the spine, come forward into your tabletop. And then as you inhale, drop the belly, send the tail to the sky as you send the hips back to the heels. Make any adjustments that you need to in your body to make this feel good for you. So if you need to take your feet apart, or if you need to walk your hands in or anything like that, do it. We'll take 2 more here. And then we will all meet in a tabletop position. So walk yourself to the center of your mat. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your knees are underneath your hips. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, you're going to reach your left leg and your right arm forward. You could stay here, otherwise take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, you're going to tuck and round, elbow and knee come towards each other. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, tuck and round. We've got 3 more here. Try not to rock out through your right hip. As you inhale, you're going to reach the arm and the leg long. Turn the palm to face down. As you exhale, keep the toes facing towards the back of the mat as you float the arm and the leg out to the side. So the leg doesn't have to come super far. Inhale, bring yourself back to center. Exhale, float it out to the side. You could do this with just the arm or just the leg if you needed to. Inhale, back to center. We've got 3 more. Last one. Inhale into your spinal balance. Exhale, hand and foot meet the floor. Inhale, take a cow belly breath. Reach the sternum forward. And as you exhale, round the spine. Come up onto the fingertips. Give the wrists a little bit of a break. And then bring the palms down. Come back to neutral. Take an inhale here. Kakwate Venaka. As you exhale, send the left arm and the right leg long. You could stay here. Otherwise, as you inhale, you'll lengthen. And then as you exhale, you bring the arm and the leg towards each other. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bring them towards each other. Inhale to lengthen. Take 3 more here. For fuck's sake, dude. 1 more. And then you'll lengthen, come out into your spinal balance. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, you'll send the arm and the leg out to the side. The palm is facing down. Inhale, bring them back to center. Exhale, float it out to the side. It's like a toddler having a tantrum. Inhale it back to center. We'll do 3 more here. One more, bring it back to center. Set the hand and the knee down. Inhale into your cow belly breath. Exhale, tuck and round. Come up onto the fingertips. Release the wrists. Come back down onto the palms. Tuck under the toes. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a moment to pedal out the feet. You can wiggle the hips side to side. Do whatever feels good for you. We're going to do that same rolling movement. If you want to drop back into child's pose to table, you can do that. Otherwise, come up onto the tippy toes. As you inhale, you're going to ripple through to a high plank pose. And then as you exhale, bend the knees, send the hips back towards the heels, and then straighten the legs. Inhale, ripple forward, high plank. Exhale, send yourself to the back of the mat. We'll do 3 more just like this. And we'll meet in our downward facing dog. You can do this next bit from tabletop if you prefer. Otherwise, we're going to shift forward into a high plank. So if you need to drop the knees here, you will. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, you're going to float the right leg up behind you. So don't drop your pelvis from side to side and don't dump into your lower back. Inhale, slow control, set it down. Exhale, left leg will float. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, right. Inhale, set it down. Bless you. Exhale, left. Inhale, set it down. We'll do 3 more on each side. One more each side. And then you'll shift your hips up and back, downward facing dog or child's pose. Take a nice deep inhale. Take a nice deep exhale. We're going to shift forward back into your plank or your tabletop. Now we're going to do the hands. So take an inhale. As you exhale, stabilize through your hips. You're going to reach the right arm right out in front of you. So draw your right hip down a little bit. Inhale, come back to your plank. Take your feet wider if you need. Exhale, left arm reaches. Inhale, bring it back. So nice and slow. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. We've got 3 more on each side. Challenge yourself and see how long you can keep that arm reaching out in front of you. See if you can take your whole exhale. We've got 1 more on each side, nearly there. And then send your hips up and back, downward dog or child's pose. Take a nice deep inhale and take a nice deep exhale. So we're going to put those 2 together. You have, again, the option to do it from your knees, or you could just do the arms or the legs, or you could just alternate. Otherwise, we're going to try both at the same time. So shift forward, whoopsie, to your plank or your tabletop. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, see if you can float your left leg and your right arm. Inhale it back to center. Exhale, left arm, right leg. Inhale to center. You can also do this from the forearms. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. We'll just do 1 more on each side. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. Send it all the way up and back. Downward facing dog. And then we're all going to walk our hands to the back of the mat so that we end up in a forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, come into a halfway lift. And then as you exhale, bend your knees really generously, turn your palms up, and then stand on your palms. So your toes will come to your wrist creases. This doesn't feel good for you. You can just take a normal forward fold. If you can, you're going to press gently down into the feet, and then think of tractioning your wrists. So almost think of trying to pull your hands away from the floor as your feet push them down. Let the head be heavy and relaxed. Take a couple of breaths here. And then you're going to slowly release the hands from underneath the feet. Take a generous bend in through the knees and slowly start to roll yourself all the way up to standing at the back of your mat. When you get there, inhale, draw the shoulders up by the ears. Big open mouth exhale. Turn your toes out slightly. So if you do Pilates, it's going to be like a little Pilates V. So your heels are together, your toes are out. You're going to keep your heels connected the whole time. Stand nice and tall through the spine. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to raise up onto your tippy toes. Don't roll to your pinky toe side. So keep pressing your heels together and keep pressing your big toes down. Inhale, you're going to slow float them down. Exhale, think of engaging your inner thighs. Squeeze your legs together. Inhale them down. Now you can do whatever you want with your hands. If you want, you can inhale, sweep the hands up and overhead. And then as you exhale, you'll bring them down through prayer as you come through center. Inhale, sweep those arms up, raise the heels. Exhale, come down through center, prayer hands. We're going to do 2 more here. Last one, we're going to stay on the tippy toes, raise up. You can keep your hands up or you can bring them down. You're going to turn your toes to face the top edge of your mat. We're going to take little baby steps to the top of the mat. So easier would be feet staying hips distance apart. If you want to challenge yourself, walk like you're on a tightrope. So one foot in front of the other. So it's like you're walking in the highest pair of stilettos that you've ever worn. And you're doing that funny drunk test that you guys still do in the States, which makes me laugh. I can't believe that that's a legitimate thing. Do we have it? Yeah. No, we have breathalyzers. It's much more objective. And then we're going to reverse it. So now you're doing the reverse thing. Have you guys ever watched Reno 99? Yeah. There's a really good scene where that blonde cop gets a guy to do like a full-on like line dance. It's hilarious. We're going to do 1 more lap forwards and backwards. So keep standing nice and tall. Crown of the head is getting pulled by a string to the top of your mat. You guys are lucky you don't have to dodge a dog. He is. He's helping me with my proprioception. Woo. And then we're all going to meet at the back of the mat. Drop the heels. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come into a halfway lift and lengthen. And then as you exhale, you're going to walk yourself all the way out to your plank or your tabletop. We're going to come down to our first chaturanga. So inhale, shift forward. As you exhale, elbows hug the side body, lower halfway down. Inhale, come back to plank. We've got 2 more. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to plank. You can always just hold your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to take our sun salutations. So look towards the top of the mat. Step, walk, or float. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, come all the way up. Option to raise up onto the tippy toes. Option to stay on the toes as you exhale, forward fold. Drop the heels. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, take it through your vinyasa or skip it. We meet in downward dog. Look to the top of the mat. Step, walk, or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise up. Option to come to the toes. Exhale, option to stay on the toes as you forward fold. Drop the heels. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step, walk, or float. Vinyasa or straight to dog. Look to the top. Step, walk, or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise up. Raise the heels. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, with or without your vinyasa, downward dog. We'll do 2 more rounds. Look to the top, step, walk, or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, make your way to dog. Last round, look to the top, step, walk, or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, make your way to dog. Look to the top of your mat, step, walk, or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, send the hips back. Send the hips back. Inhale, chair pose. As always, make sure your knees are in line with your toes. Set your heels back. Put your toes down. Draw your toes down towards the floor and then reach nice and long through the arms. We're going to take 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, you're going to drop your hands down in line with your shoulders. As you exhale, you're going to peel your heels up off the floor. You could stay in a regular chair. Keep your heels lifted. As you inhale, you're going to sink down a little bit, and then exhale, lift up. So it's like a mini range of movement. Inhale, see if you can get your hips as low as your knees. Exhale, come up. We've got 8 more of these. You're going to feel this in your quads. Keep pressing your big toes down. If you need to breathe out of your mouth on your exhales to release some heat, then go forth and do that. Got 4 more. Take an inhale at the top and then exhale, drop the heels, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, with or without a vinyasa, make your way to downward dog. Take a nice deep inhale. Take a nice deep exhale. Take your feet a little bit wider than hips distance to kind of mat distance. I think we did this at one of the first classes. You're going to ground down through your left palm. See if you can tap your right fingertips to your right shoulder blade. Your right elbow is reaching to the space where your right hand would normally be. And you're trying to ground down evenly through both feet. So you'll probably have to shift a little bit of weight over to the right. Now, you could hang out here. Otherwise, I'm going to give you an option to come into a single arm plank from here. So you'll keep your right fingertips on your shoulder blade. You'll inhale, shift forward into a single arm plank. This is just an option. You can also drop your right hand. And then as you exhale, you'll come back into that single leg dog. This is a lot of shoulder stability. Inhale, come forward into that plank. Exhale, come back. We're going to do 3 more. Last one. And then we'll come back to downward dog. We'll take it to the other side. So ground down through your right palm. Take your left hand to your left shoulder blade. And then draw your left elbow down to where your left hand would be. Even your weight out through your feet as much as you can. Remember, you can feel free to stay here, or you can take plank waves with both hands down. As you inhale, you're going to shift forward, single arm plank if you can. And then as you exhale, back to that one arm downward dog. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, bring it back. Nice work. Take 3 more. Last one. Set your left hand down, downward facing dog. As you inhale, sweep the right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, step it through between the hands. We're coming up for crescent lunge. As you inhale, raise all the way up to your crescent lunge. You could stay here. You can drop the back knee, or you can raise the front heel. Lots of work on the toes today. We're going to hold this first one for another 3 breaths. Stay on your toes if you can. You're going to inhale here. As you exhale, torso comes forward, sweep the arms back. Inhale, come into your crescent lunge. Exhale, power lunge. We've got 3 more here. In your power lunge, you're going to stay down. Drop the front heel. Inhale, come up into your warrior 3. If warrior 3 is too much, you're going to come down and find the floor in your standing splits. We're going to take 3 breaths in our warrior 3. Draw your right hip back, your left hip down. Reach your fingertips forward or backwards, or bring them to the heart center. Take 2 more breaths. Take 1 more inhale. As you exhale, find your standing split. Plant the hands, option to walk back, otherwise put weight into the hands. See if you can hop the right foot to the back of the mat. And then with or without a vinyasa, we all find our downward facing dog. As you inhale, you're going to sweep that left leg up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, step it all the way through. Inhale, come into your crescent lunge. Same options as before. You can lift the heel or you can drop the knee. We'll take 4 more breaths here. Take 1 more inhale. As you exhale, stay on the toes if you can. Torso comes forward, arms sweep back in your power lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, power lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. 3 more. Stay in your power lunge. Drop your front heel, and then as you inhale, come up into your warrior 3 or your standing splits. Left hip back, right hip down. Strong engagement through the back of that right leg. 2 more breaths. And then hands find the floor, however you want to get there, and make your way to your downward facing dog. Look towards the top of your mat, step, walk, or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, balance chair, arms back, heels lift. Inhale, keep the heels up, sweep the arms forward, chair. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, make your way to downward dog. Inhale, right leg sweeps up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale into your crescent lunge, option to raise the front heel. As you exhale, power lunge. Drop the front heel, inhale into your warrior 3. And then as you exhale, hands meet the floor, make your way to downward dog. Inhale, sweep that left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, crescent lunge, option to raise that front heel. Exhale, torso forward, arms back, power lunge. Drop the front heel, inhale, warrior 3. Exhale, hands come down, find the floor, make your way to downward dog. So remember, you can always sub out that warrior 3 for a standing split. Look to the top, step, walk, or float. We'll go through twice more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, balance chair, raise the heels. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, make your way to downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, crescent lunge, option to raise the heel. Exhale, power lunge. Drop the front heel. Inhale, warrior 3 or standing split. Exhale, hands find the floor. Find your downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, power lunge. Drop the front heel. Inhale, warrior 3. Exhale, hands find the floor. Make your way through your vinyasa or not. Look to the top, step, walk, or float. 1 more round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, balance chair. Keep the heels up. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, make your way to downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, your crescent lunge. Exhale, power lunge. Drop the front heel. Inhale, warrior 3. Exhale, hands find the floor. Make your way to downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, power lunge. Drop the heel. Inhale, warrior 3. Exhale, hands come down. Make your way to downward dog or child's pose. Give yourself a couple of breaths. While you're here, you're going to find your block and bring it towards the top of your mat. Okay. So from your downward dog, you're going to step, walk, or float yourself all the way up to the top of your mat. You're going to put your block on the low setting. It can be to the side or it can be in the center of your mat. It doesn't really matter. And it's going to face The long end is going to be parallel to the long end of the mat, and the short edge will be parallel to the short edge of the mat. It's really hard to talk and do this. We're going to start with our left foot on the block. So we're going to come up to standing. And you can do this whole thing without the block. So if this is a lot with the block, then you skip the block. So you're going to be, I'm just going to face you guys so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to be up on your right tippy toes. These blocks are a bit squishy, so it's going to make it harder. Lucky you. You're going to take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to start just by floating your right leg out to the side. Keep your right toes facing the long end of the mat and try not to hike through the right side of your waist. Inhale, tap it in. Exhale, bring it out. Inhale, bring it in. If this is good, you can stay here. If you want to add the arms, it's nothing complicated. You're just going to inhale the arms up and then exhale them down. Inhale them up, exhale them down. It's like a way harder version of a jumping jack. We're going to do 2 more here. You guys are going to stay where you are. You're going to keep that left foot on the block. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. As you inhale, you're going to step that right leg to the back of the mat, come into your crescent lunge, sweep the arms up. And then as you exhale, we're going to come all the way back up to standing on the left leg, right knee to chest. Again, if the block is too much, ditch it. Inhale, step back into your crescent. Exhale, come to stand on the block, right knee to chest. We're going to do 3 more here. We're going to stay with that right knee up, and then we're going to set it down. So again, you guys will stay where you are. We're going to come into an uneven squat. So most of the weight is going to be on your right foot now. Your foot is just resting on that left block. So as you inhale, you'll set your heels back you'll set your hips back like you're coming into a chair. Most of your weight is on the foot on the ground. And then as you exhale, you'll press up. So the block is almost helping you to put less weight in that left foot. If you wanted to make this harder, you would come onto the left toes, or you would float that left leg and just come into a single leg squat here. I've totally lost count. We're going to do 2 more on this side. And then we're going to come back to the top of the mat. You're just going to kick the block off to the side. Inhale, sweep those arms all the way overhead. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come into a halfway lift and lengthen. And then as you exhale, make your way down to downward facing dog. We are coming to the other side, don't worry. It's getting you off your legs for a little bit. So you can come to that shoulder tap that we did before. Otherwise, you're going to inhale, sweep that right leg up towards the sky. You could stay here. Otherwise, come up onto the left fingertips. You could, so left fingertips, that's it. You could stay here, or you can try and float that left arm. So now we're kind of like we were in that plank, except we're in a downward facing dog. If you want to make this harder still, you'll bend your right knee and see if you can reach your left hand back to find your right heel. Yes, India, nice. It's hard. If you fall out, don't worry. It's hard because it's hard, not because you're bad at it. Yes, nice. Yes. Yeah, you guys are nailing this. Beautiful. All right, and then you'll come back to center and we'll take it to the other side. So remember, you can just stick with the shoulder tap if you want to. Otherwise, you're going to take that left leg up. You can stay here. Otherwise, you'll start to come onto the, am I doing the same leg? Okay, no, we want to go to the other leg. So whatever leg you didn't just lift, you're going to lift it now. You'll come up onto the opposite fingertips, and then if you want to make it harder, you'll bend the knee and then reach back with the hand, see if you can touch the heel. And if you fall out, come back in, laugh at yourself, it's okay. And then when you're ready, you'll come to your downward facing dog. If you want to flush this out with the vinyasa, you can. Otherwise, you can stay there. And then we'll slowly make our way to the top of our mat. Grab your block, we'll come to the other side. So start with it parallel to the long end of your mat. And now your right foot is going to step onto that block. Come up onto the left tippy toes. Face your hips forward, take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to float that left leg off to the side. And then inhale, bring it back through center. Exhale, float it to the side. Inhale through center. If you want to add the arms, you'll inhale, sweep them up. And then exhale, sweep them down. We're going to do 4 more here. Last one. From here, make sure you're nice and solid on that block. As you inhale, you're going to step your left leg back behind you, sweep the arms up for your crescent lunge. And then as you exhale, press into the right foot, draw the left knee to chest, come to stand on that block. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, bring it up. If you need to take a couple of hops to get up there, that's okay. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, step it forward. We're going to do 3 more on this side. And then you'll set that left foot down. So now all of your weight's coming onto your left foot. Options, right foot on the block, right toes on the block, or if you want to up level, you'll just float that right leg. As you inhale, sit back into your chair or your single leg chair. Exhale, press it up. Inhale, come into your chair. Exhale, press it up. We do 4 more here. Last one. And then you're just going to take that block off to the side. Inhale, sweep those arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale. Take a nice deep exhale. As you inhale, sweep that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step it through. As you inhale, come up into your crescent lunge. Listen carefully. You have the option to drop the front heel here. Otherwise, as you exhale, we're going to come all the way to standing on that right foot. So your heel can be up for more or it can be down. Inhale, come back to your crescent. So this is just what we did on the block. Exhale, come all the way up. Woo. Inhale, bring it down. And you can also lift that heel once you get to standing. So if doing it in the transition is too much, you can add it at the end. We've got 1 more. Inhale, come into your crescent lunge. Exhale, come into your power lunge. Option to keep that front heel lifted again as we come into our warrior 3. And if, once again, heel lifted isn't working, come into a normal warrior 3, or you can play around with seeing if you can lift that heel even just for a second in your warrior 3. And again, this is hard because it's hard. Take 1 more breath here. And then you're going to come all the way up to standing on the right leg. Draw the left knee in towards the chest, hug it in, and then try and catch your balance. Just roll out through that left ankle. You can stay here, otherwise peace fingers can find that left big toe, and you can start to take that left foot out in front of you any amount. Knee can stay super, super bent here. Stay nice and tall through your spine. If you want to open the hip, feel free to do it. And then we're slowly going to set that left foot down to the floor. Inhale, come into your chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Take that right foot, cross it behind your left foot, and then walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. Draw your right hip towards the back of the room. See if you can reach your right fingertips forward a little bit more. You should feel a nice stretch through that right side hip. And then you're going to come back to center. I'm going to give you options here. You can come straight back to your downward dog or take a vinyasa. You could take a crow pose, or you can keep your legs crossed. It's not really that different. And then come into a crow pose with your ankles crossed. So it's pretty much the same thing, except now you've got this little lock of your ankles, but your arms still come to the back of your knees. Yep, so it's exactly the same. So now you'll bend your knees so your knees come apart. So cross at your ankles. Yep, that's it. And now get your elbows to the inside of your knees. Yep, that's it. Hug your knees into your elbows and then shift forward, shift forward, shift forward. Use that bottom foot. Yeah, there you go. So it's almost the same. It's just like a little bit different. Your ankles stay crossed? Yes, yeah, your ankle. You're trying to keep your ankles crossed like that. But I mean, I have short limbs, so it's not hard for me to keep my limbs crossed. Yeah, that's it. You're nearly there. All right, and then we'll all meet in our downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep that left leg up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, step it forward. Inhale, come up into a crescent lunge. Remember, you can keep the heel down. If you want the challenge, you'll raise the front heel. On your next exhale, come all the way to standing, right knee to chest. And then inhale, step it back. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, step it back. If arms overhead doesn't work for you, you can have moving arms here. We've got 2 more wherever you are. Oops. Inhale into your crescent lunge. Exhale, power lunge. Drop the heel if you need to. Keep it raised if you can. Inhale, come into your warrior 3. Remember, you can stay with the heel raised or you can play around with lift and lower. You could also be in a standing split here, also up on the tippy toes as an option. One more breath. And then you're going to drop that heel, come all the way to stand on the left leg, draw the right knee in towards the chest, hug it as high up as you can, and then just take some circles through the ankle. You have the option to stay here, otherwise right peace fingers can come around the right big toe. You can extend that leg out in front of you. If you want to take it out to the side and open the hip, feel free to do that. And then you're slowly going to set that right foot down next to the left. Inhale, come into your chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Step the left leg behind the right, cross your ankles, and then walk your hands over towards the right side of your mat. Reach your left hand a little bit forward. One more breath here. And then you're going to walk yourself back to center. Same options as before. If you want to play with a regular crow, you can do that. If you want to try ankles crossed in the opposite direction, this side might be easier for you, Kirsten. You never know. Or you can just make your way through a vinyasa or not, straight back to downward facing dog. Yes, that's it. Really hug your knees into the backs of your arms. Yes. Nice. Beautiful. And then we all meet in downward facing dog. Okay, you're going to have the option to use the block here. You can do this whole thing from tabletop. If you're doing it from tabletop, you probably don't need the block, but you can certainly have it if you want to. We're going to shift forward either into a plank or a tabletop, and the block is going to be underneath our right arm. So this is going to work a kind of a really specific muscle that's really important in arm balances. It's our serratus anterior. It's one of our shoulder stabilizers. So you're going to have your right hand on your block. You could be here in tabletop and do the movement from here. If I show you on my left hand, it would look like that. Otherwise, you're going to be up in plank. So now your arms are uneven. This is a similar thing to the shoulder tap, except now we have to move through a different range of movement in our shoulder blade. So you'll press down through the right hand as you exhale, press the floor away from you. See if you can take your left hand to your shoulder. And then as you inhale, you'll kind of sink a little bit into your shoulder blade. Exhale, elbow stays straight, press the block away. And then as you inhale, come down. So does this make sense to everybody? It's kind of a weird movement and it's really hard to do. We're going to do 3 more. Remember, you can do this from tabletop and you can do it without the block. We've got 1 more. And then good news, we get to do it on the other side. So I know everybody's so thrilled. It does help your surfing. It is, trust me, there is method to my madness. I'm not just making you guys go through hell for fun. So left hand comes to the block or the floor. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, press that block away. Tap the right hand to the shoulder. And then inhale, slide it down. Exhale, press away. Inhale, come down. We've got 3 more here. And then come back to your plank or tabletop. Set that block off to the side. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale. Take a nice deep exhale. Look towards the top of your mat. Step, walk, float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, heels raise. As you inhale, bring those hands down in line with your shoulders. You can drop the heels if you need to. Otherwise, as you exhale, right knee comes to chest, balance on those left tippy toes. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale, left knee to chest. Inhale, set it down. We've got 4 more on each side. Press down through the whole ball of the foot, so don't roll to the inside or the outside. We've got 1 more on each side. Come down into your chair pose. Take an inhale. Hands come to the hips as you exhale. Right knee to chest, and then hug your right knee over your left for eagle legs. If you can do the double bind where your ankle comes behind your calf, then go for it. Both of your hips face forward. Reach your arms forward. Right arm is either going to come underneath the left, and then the palms will meet. Backs of the hands can meet, or you can just squeeze your forearms together. If balance is really hard for you here, you put those right toes down on the floor, or bring your block a little bit closer to you. That. Got 3 more breaths here. You're going to come all the way up. Keep your arms. Keep on that left leg. This is going to be a lot, but you can do it. That right knee is now going to come behind the left. So you're going to bend the left knee, tuck the right knee behind for a Shiva squat, and then inhale, just come all the way back up to standing, right knee to chest. Inhale, come down into your Shiva squat. Your fingertips can be on the floor. You can set your left foot down in a curtsy if you need. Exhale, come to stand. We've got 3 more. Your left leg is probably on fire. Keep breathing through it. You're stronger than you think. My dog is going to jump off now. He's totally not. It's okay. Release both feet to the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up and overhead. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Take a nice deep inhale. And then forward fold. Exhale. Oh my God. Generous bending through the knees. Start to roll all the way up through the spine. Stand. Stand. Is that gate open? Can you go around to the front and call him? Oh, sorry. I'm not. Okay, we're going to come back into our chair pose. Inhale. And then as you exhale, hands come down in line with the shoulders, raise up onto the tippy toes. You could stick with that march that we did before. Otherwise, Otherwise, we're going to add a twist. So, as your right knee lifts, option to take that right arm back and twist to the right. Inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, twist to the left, left knee comes to chest. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, option to twist to the right. Inhale through center. You could do this whole thing with your heels on the floor as well. Inhale through center. We're going to do 2 more to each side. And then set your heels down. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Bring your left knee to chest, inhale. And then as you exhale, cross it over for your eagle legs. You can take a double bind if you want. Square up your hips. And now your left arm will either come under your right and palms will meet. Back to palms can meet, or you can just squeeze your forearms together. If you're not taking the bind, see if you can get your whole forearm together and really squeeze and get your chest muscles. Take 2 more breaths here. From here, you're going to unwind your left leg. As you inhale, you're going to bend your right knee, tuck your left knee behind, Shiva squat. And then exhale, come all the way to stand. Inhale, come into your Shiva squat or your curtsy. Exhale, come all the way to stand. You've got 3 more. Breathe through it. Last one. Set the left foot down. Release the arms. Inhale, sit down all the way overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. As you exhale, step forward foot. Make your way to your downward dog. All right, we're going to do a little bit of side plank work. You can do this from your forearm, and you can also set your knee down if you want to. You're going to ripple forward into your plank, forearms or palms, and then we're going to ground down through our right forearm or palm to the outside edge of our right foot. Your right knee can be down underneath your hip. We're going to add left leg movement, so just be aware of that when you're choosing your position and know that you can change. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, keep your left hip stacked on top of your right. You're going to float your left leg up, and then inhale, set it down. Exhale, float it up. Inhale, set it down. We're going to do 3 more here. This time as you inhale, sweep the left arm towards the front of the room. As you exhale, you're going to crunch your left knee and your left elbow together. Inhale, lengthen it out. Exhale, crunch. So try not to open your left hip to the sky. We've got 2 more. Inhale into your side plank, and then exhale, come through your plank. Take a little break if you need to, otherwise we're going to come straight to the other side. When you're ready, you'll plant down through your left hand or forearm, left knee or left foot, right hand to the sky. Take an inhale. You can always stay here. As you exhale, the right leg will lift. Inhale, slowly set it down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, slow, set it down. We've got 3 more. Now reach your right arm to the front of the room. Take an inhale. As you exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale to lengthen. We've got 3 more. And then bring it back through your plank. Send your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. From here, you're going to come forward into your plank, and then everybody is going to come down into a forearm plank. Once again, you can choose to stay here. Otherwise, we're going to take a baby version of that awkward plank that we did at the front. So you could just tap the hands or the feet. Otherwise, if you're going for both, as you inhale, you'll tap the right fingertips forward as you lift the left leg, and then exhale, come back to center. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Inhale to center. For some reason, I find this one harder, but I think most people find it easier. We do 3 more on each side. Keep breathing. Remember, you can do this from your knees. One more each side. Come into your forearm plank. Slowly set the knees down, set the thighs down. Sphinx pose. Hallelujah. All right. Press the pubic bone down into the floor. Press your pubic bone down into the floor. Draw your elbows back. Reach your sternum forward. You're lucky I didn't time you guys. Sometimes I do like tempo ones, and it's like, okay, we're going to go up for 8, 7, and everyone just dead glares you. They're like, excuse me, please don't. We're going to hold for 1 more breath here. And then we're going to exhale, roll it all the way down. And bring your fingertips off to the side of the mat. Tent your fingertips, elbows up to the sky. Inhale, peel the chest up. And then as you exhale, just drop your right shoulder, look towards the left. Inhale through center. And then exhale, drop your left shoulder, look to the right. Inhale through center. If this doesn't feel good, you can come down into like a goalpost position and alternate from there. We'll do one more to each side. And then come back through center. Exhale, slowly lower down. We'll do one more thing on our belly, and then we're going to flip ourselves over. So you're going to keep your head down. I'm going to have my head up so that you can hear me, but everybody else is going to have their forehead down. You're going to reach your fingers long in front of you, palms face down, and your toes back towards the back of the mat. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, keep your forehead down as you float your right arm and your left leg. And then inhale, set it down. And then exhale, float your left arm and your right leg. Inhale, set it down. So you're going to keep alternating. What I want you to feel here is when you lift that you're not rocking through your pelvis. They can be a little bit of a rock, but as much as you can, I want you to try and feel both of your frontal hip points on the mat. I want this movement to come from your glutes and the back of your shoulder. Your lower back is going to work a bit, but if you're lifting your leg really, really high and just wobbling all the way through your pelvis, you're not getting the work that you need. This should be hard. We're going to do 2 more on each side, or however many you need to do to make yourself even in that number. And then you're going to bring yourself back to center. Once you're even, press your hips back. Slowly make your way through to a child's pose. If you need to take a couple of cat-cows along the way, feel free to do that. And then when you're ready, we're going to make our way onto our backs. We're going to grab our blocks again, and you're going to have it to the front left-hand corner of your mat. So it doesn't really matter which way it faces. I like to have it lined up with the parallel edge of my mat, but you can have it however. We're going to come down into a bridge, and one of our feet is going to be on the block. So situate your block where you need it to be. Bring your left foot up onto the block, and then bring your right foot onto the block. So this is going to be, for the first part, this is going to be similar to that squat that we did. So the block is helping you. Most of the weight is in your right foot. Your hands can be down beside you, or you can bring them up and overhead. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to press down into your right foot. Try and keep light on that block. And then inhale, set it down. Exhale, you're going to lift up into your bridge. And then inhale, set it down. So take a peek down at your pelvis when you lift up. Make sure you're not just dropping that right side of your pelvis down towards the floor. You want to try and keep nice and even through your rib cage and your pelvis. We're going to do one more like this. Okay, now we're going to change it out. So now you're going to be on your right tippy toes, and most of your weight is going to be in that left foot on the block. Take an inhale. As you exhale, press into the left foot, raise yourself up, light on the right tippy toes. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale, raise it up. Inhale, bring it down. We're going to do 3 more like this, and then I'll give you the option to add on a little bit. So you can stay here, staying light on those right toes. Otherwise, take an inhale. As you exhale, that right leg will float to tabletop, come into a single leg bridge on that block. And then inhale, you'll tap the hips down to the floor, keep the right leg floating. Exhale, press up into that single leg bridge. Inhale, float it down. We'll do 3 more. Last one. And then bring it down, and you're just going to scooch the block over so that it's underneath your right foot, and we'll do the same thing. So to start out with, the block is helping you. Most of your weight is in through your left foot. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, press down into that left foot, lift up. Inhale, slowly lower down. Exhale, come into your bridge. Inhale, slow lower down. We've got 3 more here. And now we'll change. So now most of the weight will go into the right foot, come up onto the left tippy toes. Take an inhale. As you exhale, press down into that right foot, lift your hips. Inhale, slow, set it down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, set it down. We've got 3 more here. Last one. Option to stay with this. Otherwise, inhale, set the hips down. As you exhale, that left leg will float to tabletop. Press into the right foot. Inhale, set the hips down. Keep the left foot floating. Exhale, come up into your bridge. Inhale, bring it down. We've got 3 more. And then slowly bring it down. Hug the knees in towards your chest. You're going to cross your right knee over your left like an eagle pose, and then see if you can reach down and grab the outside edges of your feet. So this is like a cow face pose, but lying on your back. If reaching your feet isn't possible, reach your shins. See if you can lay your head back on the floor, and then you can pull your feet towards you any amount. And you can play with movement here. So find what kind of angle works the best for you. You're probably going to feel a stretch into your right hip here. And then you're going to release the feet, keep the cross of the legs, take the arms out to a capital T, take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to let the legs fall over towards the left, draw the right shoulder down towards the floor. If this twist doesn't work for you, find one that does. And then you're going to come back through center. We'll take it to the other side. So you'll cross the left knee over the right. See if you can reach down, grab your feet or your shins and pull your legs towards you. Release your feet, keep the cross of your legs, take the arms out to capital T, and then let the legs fall over towards the right, drawing the left shoulder down towards the floor. Then come back through center, draw your knees in towards your chest. You can take your knees wide and draw them towards the armpits and rock side to side. If you want to reach up and take the outside edges of the feet for a happy baby, feel free to do that. If you want to play with bending and straightening through one knee in your happy baby and getting a bit of a hamstring stretch, that's always a nice idea. Starting to check in with your body. If there's any other movements that you feel like you need, any other stretches or poses that you want to take before starting to make your way to your final resting position, then do it. And then when you feel like you're ready, either finding your block underneath your sacrum for supported bridge, you could bring it up in between your shoulder blades for a supported back bend. You could bring the soles of the feet together, the knees wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. You could take yourself over to a wall, send your legs up the wall, wherever is best for you. Turn your palms up towards the sky, let your eyes close, take a nice deep breath in through the nose, and then let it all go through the mouth. Taking a couple of moments here in silence, letting your thoughts pass without judgment, without attachment. When you're ready, slowly starting to add some movement back into your body. Taking out any props. Maybe drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a full body stretch. When you're ready, slowly making your way to a comfortable seated position, taking your time, rolling to one side on the way. And then when you're ready, bringing the hands together at the forehead today. As you go forward, may you have calmness in your thoughts. To the mouth, may you, as always, speak your truth. And to the heart, may you have gratitude within. Namaste.